Good afternoon, it's Gillykube from a Sunshine Coast in Queensland, Australia, coming to you with a pour that's it's actually testing to see if these very old paints that was pre-mixed probably 12 months ago in these pots. I'm using pre-mixed paint. It was mixed with the glue and water, pouring medium. I haven't added any silicone to them. I might add a drop of silicone. Actually, I might try adding the boom booster cell enhancer silicone to these old paints. I've given them a really good stir, and that was 3 drops in there. Probably don't need that much because this is only a bit. So I'm going to use these paints. I've kind of added a bit of water till I got the consistency, but it's just to see if these paints that have been in these tubs and with the lid on for, it's got to be coming on 12 months because I haven't used, these paints. They were down in the bottom of my cupboard. So I'm going to just give them a go. There's some odd bunch of colours here, but I'm going to swipe over the colours, so I'm going to see what I come up with. So I'm going to get rid of this last little bit that I've got in this container, and I think at the time it's a green light green it's called, or green light, sort of a mid-green. So I'm just going to put this bit in because I'm hoping that to cover up mostly of this, and it for only to come through when I do some balloon kissing on it. That's if I decide to balloon kiss. It might be so nice, but you know, that's what I love to do anyway. So just thinking, should I do this on the no, I'll go this way. I'm testing these old paints so we see if they're still good after a year of being mixed. So I can clean the pots out. I'll clean the pots out in a big soapy container out in the garden and reuse them again. So you don't want to throw anything like that away that you know you can maybe reuse. This is like a peachy colour, so I obviously made up these colours, custom colour. So this would be using just white with a dash of orange till you get the peachy colour that you like. So doing this method of the way I layer like this, because I do get lovely effects from it, and it turns out different every time. So be interesting. I have just added a few drops of the boom booster to each of these containers that's left. Haven't got any gooby bits as yet, so we'll just keep going and hope that I don't. Just stirring. So this is kind of like, it wasn't the green, it's kind of like a baby poo yellowy green, but I think most people will know what I mean if they've ever had a child. So I'm not sure how this one will go, but I'm hoping to jazz the colours up as I go along. So all these layer of colours will come through after I swipe. So a bit interesting to see what the old colours create. So this was magenta kind of colour. See how it goes. It might give absolutely astonishing effect, being that it's been pre-mixed for so long, and might be the magic mixture of the future. If only I could remember what went into it. I keep saying I have to get those ginkgo biloba. Everybody tells me take ginkgo biloba for memory, a natural herb, ginkgo biloba. And that's all well and good, getting the ginkgo biloba, or just for your memory, I just forget to keep taking it. Alright, that was a bad joke. That was a very bad joke. But yes, I'm sure if I did get the ginkgo biloba, I would forget to take it, even though it's for my memory. There you go. So, now I have this kind of, it was the lilac colour. Mix that in it. Old paints. Wow. It might be, we just don't know, do we? That's why I'm trying it. So there's plenty in that one, so I have to keep the lid back on that one because I don't want to use all of that today. It's just too much. Just too much. Put the lid back on the baby poo. And I thank you guys for coming on this journey with me. Crazy journey. Thanks for joining me today. I very much appreciate it. Thanks to all you that have subscribed to my channel. I appreciate you, I truly do. Now there's been lots of messages coming into me via my YouTube channel saying, you know, people that were subscribed to my channel are not getting notifications off YouTube, and then when they go to look for me, you know, I've obviously got lots of videos that they've missed. Somebody said she complained to YouTube, why isn't she getting the notifications anymore via email? And they said YouTube have told her, from what she tells me, that they have stopped doing email notifications because people wasn't reading them. So I'm not sure why they would do that, because it's like an automated system, so I'm not sure. But I suppose if they thought it wasn't being utilised, then they're not going to use it. So that is, so the only thing I've been told is if you want to be notified, just make sure you hit the notification bell, because then when you log into your YouTube, it'll come up on the top what your subscribed artists have put out so far, the videos. So I'm told. I don't actually know that. I've wrote to YouTube and I'm hoping I get an answer as to why, you know, or is there anything else that you guys can do if you want to get the notifications from your favourite artist, what you can do any further. So this is the really bright, brilliant red. And this was one that I have mixed only today. So I'm only going to put a bit of this in whirls. Whirling. I have mixed this with my clear PVA and water. The pouring medium recipe is in the drop down box. Also in the drop down box is beginners videos. So if anyone's after more information, go in the drop down box and link onto the beginners videos, because they are there to help you. And I believe, if I haven't, I will add a link also to finishing off your work if you want to varnish it. So that was the bright red. I'm just going to go over this with a white, which is, this is being mixed about a day or so, so this is not so old. I know it's got plenty of paint in here, but I'm just hoping the colours come through loud and proud. Okay, that's that. Let's just give this little bit of tilt. So when you do this particular style, which is just how I did it, just sort of zigzagging up and down your canvas, just do it nice and slowly, and when you come to tilt, do your tilt nice and slow too. It's yeah, it's part of your therapeutic art session to yourself. You gift to yourself. That's where I believe art is a gift to yourself. It doesn't matter if anybody else likes what you're doing or oh, I've got you out of frame, then likes what you're doing or tells you it's rubbish or whatever. It's your time in your art room. Your art, your rules, your way. Just double check that I've got that. Sorry about that, it's a bit rickety. All right, it looks like a big ice cream parlour type. Peppermint and all sorts in there. Pistachio, strawberry, raspberry, deliciosa. I had got some gold to put in there, but I'm not going to put that in today. I think I've done well and truly OTT'd with it. So this was the Berry Delicious, but it's very dark today that I made up. I made it out of that, the bright, brilliant red. I added a good dash of phthalo blue there, and then a dash of black. So I wanted it real dark cherry, but I think it's gone a bit too dark, but I will do a very thin line and let's see what we get out of this. So hopefully just a very thin line, because it can take right over. So let's see. This is the soft plastic file divider. You can get them from stationery stores, office supply stores, and it's just the nice soft plastic, but with a little bit of weight in it to do brilliant swipes. And then what's great about them is that you can wash them and keep reusing them over and over again. It kind of looks really dark, that's my Berry Delicious, but I think I've added a bit too much. You know, I just add a blob of black, but I think that looks like a real good old blob of black. You know, the old Jilly measurements. There's just a blob, little blob, medium blob, and a big blob, and then a good old blob of black. Probably a bit too much. Kind of looks nice that way, like a Northern Lights, Southern Lights, Northern Lights, whatever you call them. Can't think. I'm old. So this is a 40 by 50 centimetre canvas. It's a nice size to work with, especially if you've got a good amount of paint to put down. I might just add a little weeny, or should I not? Oh, no, okay, I'll just try it without. If I need some more, I'll go over it again. Let's see, wow, you would think there was none there enough to go, but look how much there was. Well, I hope some of you guys, I know that lots of you have been writing to me and saying that you've been watching YouTubers do these pours, but you haven't yet been brave enough. So this is my challenge to you guys. Go get yourself some paints. They don't have to be expensive paints. In fact, when you start, and it's better to even start with poster paints. I think they call them in the US and elsewhere tempera. And you can mix. I have a video on that. So give your art journey a go. Just start it. That's then you'll realise, what have I been so frightened about starting? It's only paint. Okay, let's see what this beauty comes out like. Oh, look at these champagne cells popping up. Champagne. My Candyland pour. Candyland pour. That's what it reminds me of. Candyland. I think I could have gone a bit more black in there, or black, or that very dark Berrylicious, because it's not, it's allowing the other colours to pop up, and they look a lot better when they're with the darker background. So that's my old one. I've got a couple in the drawer beside me. My older one, it's been dropped and trod on, but it's still going really well. It's a heat embossing tool, whatever you say. So it's got these big blobby cells that I don't like. So what I think I need to just leave this for maybe 20-25 minutes for the paint to absorb into the canvas and to, you know, it will self-level if it's on a level surface, and then come back and balloon it. But to start with, I'll just give it a try and see what the balloon does. So don't be scared of the balloon. I know some people say they just can't get this balloon thing happening, it's not working for them, but truly it is just trying to get the paint at the right thickness and just being confident to kiss your balloon right into the canvas. So push it in and bring it back out. Now that, you see, like all the paint is falling back in, so it that's kind of telling you leave it a little while for the paint to absorb into the canvas, or you can go back over the same spot again. So hence you're taking some of that paint away, but you're allowing the nice sort of feature there. So where those big blobs are, yeah, I definitely need to come back. So I will do that, because I can just keep pressing on the same spot and it takes some of the paint off, but then it can also take you right down to your canvas, and you do. So wipe your balloon off, give your balloon a good wipe in between every balloon kiss, because otherwise you can muddy up. And I will come back to this and give some balloon slides and rolls, I believe, in about 20 minutes, or be about 3 seconds to you. Okay, I came back and it just looked atrocious. It had gone in great big blobs and globules. It didn't look nice at all. So I've leaned it upwards and just tipped off a load of paint. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to retrieve. I mean, it looks kind of groovy now in its own dripped off state, but I'm going to see what I can do to save this pour. Okay, I will put a bit more white back in it. Actually, I'm not going to put the white in. I think I might just swipe over with the navy from the top. I tip the paint off from that edge, so I'll swipe down that edge. If I can't save it, I'm going to scrape it. Like I said to you guys, it was a test to see old paint, really old paint that had been mixed for over a year or a year. I didn't like it at all. I didn't want to even do balloon kissing on it. So I'll just go over this and see what I can do. Otherwise, it is a lesson learned that old paint that you've pre-mixed up, well, for me, may work for some, but for me, I didn't feel that it worked. I didn't like the consistency of the paint. I could just tell that it wasn't very nice. It went in big lumps, not lumps, but what you call it? Yeah, it's sort of big ugly cells. Don't want those. Don't mind cells if they're nice, pretty, and they form beautiful shapes, and that's all good, but when they just go in big ugly lumps, it's not worth it. Like I said, it was all paint that I would have normally thrown away because I thought it was just too old. But I'll just work with it and try it. So I'll give it a butane torch and see if that makes any difference. Don't use a butane torch if you're not confident, and you must have fire extinguisher and be very confident with it. Otherwise, use the heat gun. It does the same thing. So I'm seeing if I can get some clusters to come up. Jilly clusters. Clusters. Just dabbing it on like that will bring up, hopefully, clusters. It's kind of coming, but you know what? I'll point it out in a minute when I've stopped doing this. Okay. Careful with that. the paint is definitely not good because the cells are completely going, not in sort of, they're going in odd bod shapes. They're going triangles and stars, but they're not actually nice triangles and stars, I don't believe. I'm not real keen on that. Might just see what the balloon does in this. If I can't salvage it, then I will scrape the whole lot. So let me just try a balloon around like a frame on it. Okay, that one didn't turn out too bad, should I say. That's it. It's pressing into the canvas better now because I've tipped a lot of the paint off. You know, sometimes you can have just too much paint on your canvas to do balloon kissing, and then that's when you really need to let it dry a bit. Oh, I like it going back in with the black over those balloon kissing. They look nice. So I'm going to just do it like a bit of a frame around this area. So it looks like a firework display. You know, just trying to work with what I believe is a bad pour. And that's what I definitely have to show you guys, because as you said, you've remarked to me so many times that you like seeing the good with the bad, that you've pointed out that some people just don't show their bad pours and make you think that you know, you've got to be perfect every time, and that, or the YouTube artists never go wrong. Well, I can tell you they do. It's just some don't like disclosing their failures with their successes. They're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. Nobody. I do know that. One thing I've learnt in my years, that is nobody that is perfect. Oh, except my husband, of course. That husbands are always perfect, aren't they? Or so they think. Holy dooly. Okay. It's kind of looking better than it did, but it's not floating my boat. But I absolutely know of a few people that would love that, so I will keep it, and I will give this one away because I wouldn't sell it because I'm not happy with it. So, but that's personal to you. If I know there's people in my life that would love the gift of something, because I wouldn't go and sell it, then I'm really, really happy to do that for them. So, thank you guys for persevering with me and watching my bumbling along trying it. So my theory is that the old paints didn't work for me, but they could work maybe if there were different colours. You could get something pretty out of them. I just think they've probably been mixed way too long and they've gone a bit khaki. Oh, I don't know what you're saying different. Okie doke. So here we go. I'm just going to thank you for joining me, and thanks so much for your lovely comments that you leave me. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. So bye for now until the next crazy pour that will not be with old paints. Okay, bye.